So in about 3 days, we're going to be starting our Sitting at His Feet daily devotional at a little R&B. And in the meantime, I just wanted to share with you how I keep a prayer journal. I've been keeping a prayer journal for several years, and I have found this method to be really effective, and so I thought I would share it with you today. I have a notebook here. You can see that it's really well used. In this notebook, I keep a list of needs, things that I'm praying for, prayer needs, salvations, and so on and so forth. And when I start my prayer time, I like to follow the example of the Lord's Prayer. And so I usually start off with a time of praise. I put in a CD, a praise video. Sometimes I'll sit at my piano here. You can see my piano behind me. And I spend the first part of my prayer time doing some praise and worship. And then what I do is I move on to let your kingdom come, let your will be done. And you can see my first item here is church and government. So I pray for my church leaders. I pray for ministries in the church, ministries that I'm involved in. I pray for our government leaders, praying for wisdom over the people that are leading in our government. And I pray for the government here in Croatia as well as for the government in America. And then I move on to salvation. I have a list of people here, a very short list. I try to keep it short and not overwhelming, but a handful of people that I'm praying for their salvation. And then I move on to give us this day our daily bread. And these are needs of people outside of our family, friends and family members, and then needs within our immediate family here. And if those are kind of needs that can be visibly met, needs that you can really point to where the Lord answered that prayer, then I'd like to keep a date next to that. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. And then I move on to forgive us our trespasses. I try to always keep a short account with God, and so if I know that I have done something to offend Him, then I like to daily spend some time in reflection over my account with the Lord, as well as my account with other people, making sure that my heart is free from bitterness and unforgiveness. And then I end that time off with praise. Now, what I like to do, the reason why I like to date these is because back here in the back part of my book, I have a list, and actually because I've been doing this for a while in this book, the list is quite long, of prayers that God has answered. Every time that there's an answer to prayer, then I put the answer to prayer here. Now, unfortunately, I never actually dated any of these. That's something I'm going to start doing now so that I can look back and see how quickly was that need met. Now, that may not necessarily be important because God can answer prayer in His own time, but sometimes it's just exciting to see. And it's wonderful because anytime that I'm really discouraged over a need that is not being answered, I like to go back and I would like to reflect over all of these needs that God has answered, that God has met. And so this is how I think that it's extremely personal, something that is extremely important to me. And this is a book that I always keep right together with my Bible. And so when I grab my Bible every morning to spend my time with the Lord, I have my prayer journal right here. I try to keep it up to date. I try to keep it very short, very succinct, and that's what's been working for me. So maybe this might be something that you might try.